Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Josh Hodell with all that we can expect. Hi, Josh.
Well, hello there, Candace. We do have a lot going on with our weather. That round of snow from earlier today is gone, but now we're seeing a transition over to colder temperatures and scattered snow showers. So across the Endless Mountains of Bradford and Susquehanna counties, we have this snow shower action, although in some of the warmer valleys, I spy a little bit of green and there could be some raindrops in the mix. But predominantly, this is snow shower action that will roll through tonight, and then the lake effect snow machine will get going for us tomorrow. In fact, it's already happening up here in the northern part of the Great Lakes. That's going to happen down here starting tomorrow afternoon. If that's not enough, we need to talk about a snow squall too. Most of our roads are wet, but there is some slush in spots. But keep in mind, temperatures are okay now. It's 34. But by morning, roads can become icy roads. We are in the 30s, 32 Montrose, 32 in Bloomsburg. I have 34 Wilkes-Barre and 36 in Hazleton. It's not going to be this warm tomorrow. Candace will talk about those snow squalls. See you in about 20 minutes.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Because the temperatures are expected to drop below freezing again, Wilkes-Barre has extended its code blue. Calvary Bible Church, located on South River Street, will serve as a shelter. The code blue runs through tomorrow morning, with the shelter open tonight from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Lower Luzerne County is no stranger to slow-moving traffic in those snowy conditions. In Mountaintop, just off the Dorrance exit of Interstate 81, there were plenty of trucks taking their time as they made their way through the region. Some drivers share their tips about staying safe on the roads.
Patience. Don't ignore them appointment times and all that. First of all, you got to be safe. You can always make another appointment for that load. Nobody's life. You got to remember, nobody's life is worth that load.
You got to drive slow. You got to keep the wheels straight and don't slam on the brakes. And it helps if you have an SUV or a truck.
Crews have been treating the roads, but there are still some slick spots. In Lackawanna County, it's the same story with slow travel. In Dixon City, heavier snowfall was covering the roads. Earlier today, PennDOT announced speed restrictions on major highways and interstates because of the severity of the storm, but those restrictions have since been lifted.
The back roads are bad. I was up in Montrose area. They're rough there. Highways are pretty good though.
Highways are good. So what did your work say?
You use your best judgment on the roads. If they're bad, try to avoid them.
PennDOT is still urging drivers to use extra caution while driving, as the roads could have some ice tonight and tomorrow morning. 2 women and a dog are dead following a machete attack in Scranton. According to Scranton police, it happened last night at the German apartment building on Biden Street. Responding officers say they found 38-year-old Michael Woods wearing bloody clothes and carrying a bloody machete in the street. He was taken into custody. Investigators discovered 2 women with multiple stab wounds inside, and they were later pronounced dead at the hospital. A service dog was also found stabbed to death under a bed. A 3rd woman was stabbed and her hand was nearly detached from her body, and she's in critical condition.
Most sincerely, the Scranton Police Department extends their deepest condolences to the families affected by this tragic event. This remains an active criminal investigation by the Scranton Police Department and the Lackawanna County District Attorney's Office.
Police say Woods admitted to taking PCP earlier in the day. He's been charged with 2 counts of criminal homicide. He's also facing counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and animal abuse. Several people are injured and without a home after an overnight apartment fire in Scranton. Flames broke out at about 2 this morning at the rear of the old West Side Hotel on South Main Avenue. Firefighters entered the building and rescued about a half-dozen people. The Scranton Fire Chief says 5 residents and a firefighter were hurt, although the extent of their injuries was not immediately known. They are now working to figure out how that fire started.
Right now we're in the process. As you can see, the building's sustained significant damage, so we're in the process of digging out any fire that's remaining in there, making sure it's completely extinguished. Our fire investigators are working the scene to see if they can find the origin and cause, which is going to be difficult.
The building is also home to the first-floor bar Kilcoynes, which took on smoke and water damage. The West Side Hotel has been an apartment building for years, and about 24 people are now staying elsewhere. State police say 5 more people are under arrest after a deadly shooting in Freeland on December 2nd. A 15-year-old and 18-year-old Rafael Sands were shot near the Fly Monkey vape shop along Center Street. Sands later died from his injuries. As 2822 News reported last week, Edgar Polanco was charged with being the lookout. Now officials say 19-year-old Emmanuel Feliz and 18-year-old Lysander Pichardo are the believed shooters anyway. 3 others were also charged for their alleged involvement. 21-year-old Wally Barrera Torres, 19-year-old Johan Solano Castillo, and 21-year-old Wiley Bonilla. 2 people from New York are dead after a 1-car crash in Monroe County. This one happened Tuesday. Police say 26-year-old Deontay Jordan from Cambria Heights and his girlfriend, 27-year-old Janelle Argon from Elmhurst, have died from their injuries they sustained in the crash. A local university is helping to break some cycles of intergenerational poverty through a program on campus. Misericordia University is the only school in the state to offer a university-based single-mother residential program. For a quarter century, the program has helped families by offering free housing, textbooks, and any basic needs. Many of the women in the program leave situations of domestic violence or homelessness, and they go on to get their college degrees and a professional career.
So they're looking at programs and opportunities like ours, and not only to get their college educations, but to get to a professional career where they can support themselves and their children as well.
Back where we were, we didn't really have access to all these things. And we weren't really in the best environment. It was a lot of chaos going on. So we just needed a fresh start.
Misericordia University also has a Parent Pathways program accessible for all parents at or near the poverty level if they're Pell eligible. The cold and temperatures and the weather that we just received, they're a welcome sight for skiers and snowboarders. Montage Mountain in Scranton opened its slopes today. Thanks to last week's conditions and crews making snow, guests at the mountain are ready to hit the slopes and take on some of the 27 trails at Montage.
It's a great day. It's nice out and it's snowing, so it gets a little bit on the ground, so it's making it easier to ski. Having a good time, and it's just good old fun. I'm excited. I've been waiting for them to open.
Montage does offer classes for beginners. If you got some snow today, take some photos and videos. We want to see it. Send it to us through our Reported app. Scan the QR code on your screen and upload your videos and photos, and we may share them with our viewers on TV. Bear season was a very big deal for one Pennsylvania hunter whose trophy was anything but average. Coming up, we'll meet the man who has skill and luck on his side. And the U.S. ramps up its pressure campaign against Venezuela's leader with more military action, the latest move marking a significant escalation in tension. Nearly 3,000 bears were harvested by hunters in Pennsylvania this year, but there's one that's literally bigger than all the rest. It's considered a once-in-a-lifetime. 22 News Capitol Bureau reporter Dennis Owens talked with the man who pulled the trigger.
ABC 27 producer Pat Bannister uses camera to shoot bears in his neighborhood. Such scenes are common, but for licensed hunters with rifles in Penn's woods, not so much.
Only about 2 to 3% of bear hunters will get a bear in a given license year.
About 2,800 bears were harvested this year, on average 180 pounds.
800-pound bears are rare, and they are literally a big deal.
Didn't know how big it was. All I could see was the top of its back, a little bit of its right side. But I was 100% sure it was a black bear.
And Beaver County's Nate Miller was 100% sure his 3 shots hit it in Butler County's Moraine State Park. Then came the thrill of an incredible kill.
I went to move the head, and that's when I knew, like, this thing's got a pumpkin for a head. Like, this is a good bear.
22-inch skull, 7'5" from nose to tail, an estimated 717 pounds. Biggest this year, one of the biggest ever in PA.
It's kind of starting to sink in that this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
There's been publicity, stories, interviews. Nate even heard the governor's office wants to talk to him. I'd like to say what to Jack Shapiro.
I don't even know who the guy is, but don't tell him that.
The social media buzz has been mostly positive, but critics are not hibernating. Some blasting Nate for pulling the trigger, which bothers him.
If it's not your way of life or you're against hunting, that's fine. Like, I have no problem with people's beliefs. You don't believe I should have shot the bear? Well, I don't believe some people should do what they do, but I don't, chase them down and harass them over it.
And the Game Commission reminds that hunters play an important role
in managing wildlife populations and keeping wildlife in balance with their habitat and keeping those animals healthy.
Nathan's already had bear sloppy joes, but plans a nicer meal for the friends who helped him drag that big bear out of the woods.
We're all going for a steak dinner at Timber Creek in Grove City. It's a good restaurant.
Not a bear steak.
No, not a bear steak. We're getting good beef steaks there.
At the State Game Commission, I'm Dennis Owens.
A state bill to rebuild Pennsylvania's rural roads and bridges is making its way through the Senate. Senator Judy Ward introduced legislation to invest in and improve PennDOT's rural infrastructure. She added that PennDOT's 3- and 4-digit routes are in the poorest condition due to the administrative prioritization of major projects on the interstate system. That bill passed through a House committee and is on its way for the Senate for a vote. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates again, what this means for the nation's economy, and the Fed's moves early next year. Still ahead. President Trump is back in Washington today after his visit to the Poconos yesterday. He came to Mount Airy Casino Resort Tuesday night to talk about affordability, but spent much of his time trashing political policies are turning around an economy that he says was in horrible shape during the Biden administration. He says Pennsylvania is seeing growth thanks to his policies. Many supporters at the rally agreed, while protesters in nearby Mount Pocono condemned what Trump and his administration have done. In our Instapoll question today, we asked, after President Trump's appearance, how do you feel about the economy? Final vote right now says a majority think they're a little less confident. Be sure to come back tomorrow again for another Instapoll question of the day. Now, President Trump says the U.S. seized an oil tanker today off the coast of Venezuela. That seizure was carried out by the Coast Guard with support from the Navy. This is the latest push by the Trump administration to increase pressure on Venezuela's president, who the U.S. is charged with narco-terrorism. This happens as the military has also been attacking alleged drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean. President Trump also told reporters other things are happening, but he didn't give any details. And a judge has ruled secret grand jury transcripts from Jeffrey Epstein's 2019 sex trafficking case can be made public. The judge joined two others in granting the Justice Department's request to unseal material from investigations into the late financier's sexual abuse. A U.S. district judge in New York reversed his earlier decision to keep that material under wraps, citing a new law that requires the government to open its files on Epstein and his longtime confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell. The Federal Reserve cut its benchmark interest rate for the third time this year, citing a cooling job market. The quarter-point decrease puts the rate at about 3.6%. That's the lowest it's been in nearly 3 years. Lower rates can bring down borrowing costs for mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards. 3 Fed officials dissented from the move. There's division on the committee as the Fed tries to address both slowing job growth and rising inflation. Tomorrow, the Senate will vote on competing plans to reduce healthcare costs. Republicans and Democrats have each introduced their own proposals. Now, at this point, it doesn't appear either plan will have the 60 votes needed to pass. Democrats want to extend tax credits tied to the Affordable Care Act, while Republicans have proposed health savings accounts for some Americans as an alternative. Meanwhile, in the House, GOP leaders announced that they'll put their own health care bills on the floor next week. We will be right back with a look at your forecast. We're already seeing some schedule changes for tomorrow.
Yeah, some delays.
Yeah.
I'm calling one in for us.
Wouldn't that be
We'll see how many people buy into it and stay home.
Hasn't worked in decades, but we're going to keep trying.
We're going to keep trying. We'll see how this goes. Right now, we are tracking more snow showers. You can see them dropping in from the north. They are scattered. They're with us tonight. And then the lake effect snow machine gets going tomorrow. And then we have that chance of a snow squall. So we'll break everything down for you here, but certainly a winter-like feel for us again today. Here's the snowflakes, couple of raindrops through Bradford County right now, Susquehanna County into Wyoming County. These are going to continue to work their way towards Lackawanna County, the Abingtons, downtown Scranton soon. In downtown Wilkes-Barre, roads are wet, things are fine, some sloppy spots, but overall not. It is 33 in this part of Luzerne County. Pottsville, pretty much a similar story. Roads are generally wet, but some secondary roads still have snow on them, still a bit sloppy. So give yourself a little extra time tonight if you're going to be traveling. It's 32. The wind makes it feel like it's in the low 20s. We're running in the low mid 30s right now, but by morning it's going to be a lot different. And basically we end up staying in the 20s for the better part of our Thursday. So we will watch snow showers move through overnight. A little bit of sun, but by lunchtime, lake effect snow showers start going. They continue through the afternoon, and this is when we have the potential for a snow squall. Scattered snow showers tomorrow, potential for a squall. The best chance will be really from late morning through afternoon. If you happen to get yourself in a healthier snow shower or even a snow squall, an additional coating to an inch or two could accumulate. Just keep in mind tonight, tomorrow, slippery spots are still possible, especially since we're going to stay in the 20s for the better part of the day. Not only will it be colder, but it's also going to be windy. Sustained winds 10 to 20. We're kind of used to that, but the gust between 25 and 40, that's what will get us tomorrow. So it happens to be garbage day at your house. The empty could be down the road. Might be in the neighbor's yard. Early outlook for the weekend, we're thinking the chance of light snow, and the best chance for that to happen Saturday evening, Saturday night, and early Sunday. We'll watch it for you. Right now, we don't think it's going to be a big deal, but as we get closer, we'll keep you posted. Your future alert weather forecast, it will be breezy tonight. Scattered snow showers, lows 20 to 25. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and windy. Scattered snow showers, chance of a squall. Highs in the mid, maybe near 30. We've made tomorrow a weather alert day because of that snow squall potential. Weather should be quiet on Friday, and then some light snow possible Saturday evening, Saturday night, early Sunday, and then we get a reinforcing shot of cold air just in time for the second half of the weekend. Brr.
Yeah. Whatever we get is sticking around.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. We'll see how things evolve towards the end of the month, but that's the end of the month.
It is. My kids built this giant snowman today, so.
It was great for the snow. The consistency of the snow was great for snowballs, making snowmen.
Yeah, they had fun.
I know. Skiers Montage opened today.
Yes.
That's kind of unusual. We haven't had that happen in December.
It's been a while.
And if they did open, it's like, a week later they're closed because it was 70.
Right. Well, fingers crossed for all the businesses that propped up there, right? Thanks, Josh. Notre Dame football decides to not participate in the postseason this year, and its athletic director is speaking on the reasoning. And Nick Zelaya joins us now with more sports. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Candace. Notre Dame wasting no time making a decision on the postseason after falling out of the CFP bracket on Sunday. The Irish will move on to 2026, and now all eyes directed on how Notre Dame approaches its program's future. All of Notre Dame's teams play in the ACC, of course, besides football, but the relationship between the school and conference seems to be drifting apart. Notre Dame would have played in the ACC championship and most likely would have clinched its spot in the playoffs next year. If Notre Dame is inside the top 12, there's an agreement with ND and ESPN that will automatically place the Irish in the playoffs. Here's Aqua on his football program moving forward and the future of head coach Marcus Freeman.
We still have to put ourselves in that area, that zip code of a top 12 team. But we want to protect ourselves against like what happened this year. Do I think Miami should be in the CFP? 100%. But we deserve to be in the CFP. College has eyes on Marcus. NFL has eyes on Marcus. One of the greatest college coaches in the country. And people forget how young he is. So I get it. And that's a compliment to him and his success and the way he represents himself and the way he prepares. And I make sure that he will be where he deserves to be. And that is at the top tier of college football coaches when it comes to compensation every year.
Some positives for the Irish. Jeremiah Love named one of 4 finalists for the Heisman Award. The winner announced on Saturday night from New York City. To the NFL, the Eagles have now lost 3 in a row for the first time since the 2023 season, and that year looked eerily similar to 2025. The Birds started 10-1 before losing 5 of its last 6 games and then getting boat raced by the Buccaneers in the wild card round. Luckily for Philadelphia, they end this season with Vegas and twice against the Commanders without Jaden Daniels. Jalen Hurts tonight talking about what he has to do to flip the switch and get the Eagles back on that winning track.
I take the approach I've taken for a while, and it seemed to work. And so I think right now it's just a matter of being more detailed, being more focused, and taking everything to another level. The problem about the game is as ugly as it was throughout. You know, I had the opportunity to win it in the end, and so that's what I take a lot of pride in. And I didn't come up for my team.
How do you keep the confidence up despite that?
Wake up the next day, go back to work.
Nice and simple for Mr. Hurts. The Eagles can snap its losing streak at home this Sunday against the Raiders. Well, in a snow-filled Wednesday, South Williamsport and Muncie still meeting on the hardwood. Both teams entering tonight 2-0. Carly Quimby for the Mounties gets the easy bucket early on. They trailed, though, by 2 after the first quarter. In the second, Ava Iyer for Muncie. Quick release on her jump shot and hits it for the Indians. And more of Muncie. It's Alexis Makeda. All alone right under the cup and gets the easy lay-in. The Indians defense holds South to just 14 points as they win this one by 13. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
for watching. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.